On Thursday, the Bucks superstar telling the New York Times that he will not sign an extension with the team until he is confident they will continue to chase championships.
In today's in-depth video, let's discuss the recent eye-opening comments made by Giannis Antetokounmpo about his upcoming free agency and contract extension with the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis made headlines this week when he said he wouldn't sign a supermax extension with the Bucks unless the team showed they were fully committed to building a championship contender around him. This has huge implications for the Bucks and Giannis's future, so let's break it down. For those who may not closely follow the NBA, let's get to some background first. Giannis has one more season left on his current contract before he's eligible to sign a 5-year, $247 million supermax extension with the Bucks. He'll become an unrestricted free agent in 2021 if he doesn't sign the extension before next season. Giannis has spent his entire 7-year career so far with the Bucks after they drafted him 15th overall in 2013. He's developed into one of the NBA's biggest superstars and the reigning MVP and Defensive Player of the Year. He carried Milwaukee to the best record in the NBA the past 2 seasons, though they failed to reach the finals each time. The Bucks have built around Giannis, surrounding him with an all-star in Chris Middleton, trading for veteran guard Drew Holiday this offseason, and signing sharpshooters like Bryn Forbes. On paper, this is arguably the most talented Bucks roster that Giannis has played with. Quotes. Here's exactly what Giannis said this week when asked about signing the Supermax extension and his long-term future in Milwaukee. "It's not all about the money. I don't want to be in a situation where we're just playing games just to play games. I want to win. I want to be in a winning situation. As long as we have the same mindset and same approach to the game, there's no reason for me to move and leave Milwaukee." He expanded on his stance. "I want the Bucks to build a winning culture. So far, we've been doing great. And if this doesn't happen, there's no reason for me to be on a losing team. We just have to keep improving. I don't know how it's going to end up looking, but at the end of the day, I want a team that we're focused on winning every single night." And he drove the point home. "I don't just want to be a part of a winning team. I want to be part of a championship team. That's what I'm looking for. I want me and my teammates to focus on winning a championship. I want everyone to be on the same page." Reaction. Basically, Giannis is saying he needs a strong commitment and unified focus from the Bucks organization, coaches, and players that they will do whatever it takes to win a championship. He doesn't want to waste his prime years on a team that is satisfied just making the playoffs or winning regular season games. This is a bold move from Giannis. He clearly has championship aspirations and wants the Bucks to prove they share his commitment. The clock is ticking for Milwaukee to build a true contender and keep their superstar long-term. Bucks GM John Horst and ownership now have some extremely tough decisions to make. Do they go all in over the next year to try and win a ring to convince Giannis to stay, or remain patient and risk upsetting him and losing him for nothing? I'm sure Bucks fans are feeling nervous after hearing Giannis' latest comments, but he didn't completely shut the door on re-signing. As long as the Bucks make the right win-now moves, they still have a chance to keep the Greek Freak. Options. So what are the Bucks' options if Giannis declines the Supermax extension offer before next season? Let's take a deeper look into what their game plan could be. Trade for an elite co-star. The Bucks have been linked to stars like Chris Paul, Bradley Beal, and Zach LaVine. Adding another top 15 player alongside Giannis could be enough to finally get them over the hump come playoff time. Trading for a co-star may be the fastest way to improve into a true contender. Aggressively upgrade the roster. Even if they can't land another superstar, the Bucks could package young players and picks to get better 3-and-D wings and front court depth to complement Giannis and Chris Middleton. They need to improve their bench and find players who can contribute on a playoff stage. Every little upgrade helps. Go all in on 2021 free agency. If Giannis turns down the extension, the Bucks could pivot and preserve max cap space for the stacked 2021 offseason. Stars like Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Rudy Gobert could all be options. It's not ideal, but remaining patient could allow them to rebuild on the fly around Giannis. Explore trading Giannis. As an absolute last resort, if Giannis declines the extension, the Bucks may have to entertain trading him if they can't meet his championship desires. They could get a massive haul of assets and young players in return, but this would signal a long rebuild and that they've given up on convincing him to stay. The Bucks are truly in a difficult spot, and they want to do everything possible to appease Giannis in the short term, while not sacrificing their entire future. I expect them to be very aggressive over the next year to prove to Giannis they are committed to winning championships with him as the centerpiece. Giannis' 2021 free agency. If Giannis does ultimately turn down the Supermax, he'll enter 2021 free agency as arguably the most coveted player available. Every team with cap space will be lining up to pitch Giannis on why he should join them. It could create a wild free agency period. Based on roster construction and salary cap situations, I think the main contenders to watch as potential Giannis destinations are the Miami Heat, just made the finals, led by Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Their culture, leadership, and coaching are major selling points for any star. Giannis would fit nicely into Miami's gritty system. Toronto Raptors already won a championship with a superstar PF as the centerpiece in Kawhi. Nick Nurse's system maximized that roster's potential. Masai Ujiri is one of the NBA's best executives. Toronto has a strong pitch. Dallas Mavericks, a duo with Luka Doncic, would be lethal for a decade. They also have Kristaps Porzingis and an elite coach in Rick Carlisle. And if they can add Giannis, their destiny could return. Of course, the Bucks can still offer Giannis the most money and have built the current roster around him. They will make every effort to re-sign him in 2021 if they can prove themselves as contenders. But if not, Giannis' free agency will dominate the 2021 offseason news cycle. All eyes will be on which teams make a run at signing him away from Milwaukee. How can Bucks keep Giannis? Even with Giannis' recent comments, I still believe the Bucks remain in the driver's seat to keep him long-term. Here are the main factors working in Milwaukee's favor. They can offer the most money, around $70 million more than other teams over 5 years. Giannis seems loyal, and money could still matter. Keeping Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez ensures chemistry and optimal role players who complement Giannis perfectly. Giannis may feel loyalty to stay for their commitment to his development. The road to the finals remains easier in the East, even with the Nets and Heat rising. Giannis gives the Bucks a clear edge over the conference. The Bucks have helped Giannis improve his skills each season. They clearly know how to maximize his unique talents. Their program works for him. Giannis' family and longtime girlfriend still live in Milwaukee. Personal ties off the court could sway him to stay. The Bucks' championship window is right now, this season. If they can advance to the finals or even win it all this year, I think it's likely that Giannis will re-sign in the summer. He knows the grass isn't always greener, and Milwaukee gives him the best path to more rings. But the pressure is certainly on. The Bucks must have a deep playoff run this season. Otherwise, Giannis may start looking toward other teams that appear closer to winning it all. That wraps up our thorough breakdown of Giannis' eye-opening comments and what it means for his future and the Bucks' hopes of keeping him long-term. To recap, Giannis says he won't extend unless the Bucks show commitment to the title, which puts pressure on them to build a true contender to keep the MVP. If there's no extension, Giannis may have many suitors in 2021 free agency, but the Bucks still have factors working in their favor to re-sign him. However, championship expectations are high in Milwaukee this season. It's definitely an intriguing situation that adds more drama and stakes to the coming NBA season. Giannis raised the bar for the Bucks front office and roster. Let us know in the comments what you make of Giannis' stance and how you think this will play out next season. Drop a like if you enjoyed this deep dive video, and consider subscribing for more NBA content year-round. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time.